Hello everyone, welcome back to Charmed Rewind!
Yeah.
The day is here. I didn't remember what episode this was prior to us starting to watch, and then I was like, "Aw, snap."
First she was like, "Oh, cool, they chose the Bruce Campbell episode," and it's like, "Oh wait, it's this episode."
Yeah, I remember Bruce Campbell was in it. I didn't remember all the Phoebe stuff, and then I was like, "Oh no, it's the love isn't enough bullshit."
Oh, you bastards! Why are you torturing me like this? Why?
Makes me so angry. This was really bad. I did want to talk a little bit before we get into the episode. By the way, it was season 4, episode 22, Which Way Now? Which is a great play on words. But I did want to talk a little bit about Shannon Doherty's podcast, just because enough people have brought this up. So if you don't know, Shannon Doherty has a podcast. She is currently battling stage 4 cancer. So she has decided she's just going to come out with everything. So I'm glad that she's speaking her truth about a lot of stuff. She has gotten into what really happened at Charmed, at least according to her. She's also talked with Holly Marie Combs about this stuff, which I think lends some more legitimacy to it. I don't want to get too much into the drama of it, but, you know, it seemed kind of obvious. There were a lot of rumors that basically it was a she or her situation with Alyssa Milano. They had to choose one. Right. If you want to know more, there's plenty of stuff written about this, about other things behind the scenes. It's messy! But I'm glad that she's being honest and being free. It seems like it's very freeing for her. So, yes, I have seen it. There's lots of stuff. So anyway, also, I'm still working on the Charmed reboot retrospective. That's still ongoing.
You're supposed to get the updates in the middle.
Oh, sorry. I'll update you in the middle how much farther I've gotten since then. Is there anything else that you want to talk about, Phelan?
I don't think so.
All right, we got a lot to cover, so this episode sucked. All right, so the opening scene, the first shot we see, it's a Miss Cleo knockoff on TV, which the reboot Charmed took that and ran with it, huh? They had their own character who was a Miss Cleo knockoff.
Can't get enough of Miss Cleo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Tiny Bangs Phoebe is watching this in her office at the paper. She has a TV in there, working hard. She's wearing glasses to indicate how hard she's working.
Yeah.
In an ugly turquoise tank top covered in like cloth roses, and this striped skirt that's one of those really unflattering early 2000s skirts that are like stretchy material and doesn't really go with anything. This is what she'll be wearing the whole episode. There's also a pink jacket she wears later that isn't great.
Her assistant has to come in and suck her ass for a while.
Yeah, that's what happens. One of her paper peons, Phoebe's paper peons.
I was waiting for her to say, "Phoebe, your calm has the momentum of a runaway freight train. Why are you so popular?"
Hands her the money under the table. I hate anytime they show someone at the newspaper, and especially when it's like another woman who isn't Elise. No, Phoebe or Elise, because it's always someone who's like sucking up to her, like, "Oh, Phoebe, I look up to you."
Yeah. Like
sometimes
Phoebe
they'll show guys
like,
who are running other columns, but it's usually like women that come in to like suck up to her.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like, you know, she says anything inane and they immediately agree, like, "Oh, this stapler really sucks." And people are like, "That's my favorite stapler." "Oh, I actually really love this brand
love
too."
It. And they start
it's
stapling
the best
their face
stapler.
And they're like, do you like it when I do this, Phoebe?
It's okay. "Oh, keep doing it then."
And then Phoebe's like, "My favorite movie is Surrender from 1987, starring Michael Caine and Sally Field." And they're like, "Yeah, it's really good, actually. It's a great movie. I love the meet cute with the robbers."
Yeah. Get tied up naked together.
It was the least weird movie I've ever seen. Yeah, you're right, Phoebe. It wasn't weird.
That's still less screwed up than her relationship with Cole. So.
That's true. Yeah, we're deep in the middle of the hurricane, as you dubbed it in our first Charmed Rewind. So yeah, this paper peon, as you you said was her assistant, Phoebe's assistant, because she needs an assistant for all of this. She's come in with a box of Ask Phoebe letters, a giant box of them.
Yeah. Just be like, oh, it's so popular, Phoebe.
Yeah, she's like, this is so many letters. We should really put them in storage because there's so many. But Phoebe is like, no, I'll get to them.
Though, really, like Phoebe might as well be Mr. Burns.
Excellent, more letters.
Get me more Ask Phoebe.
I'll save innocence when pigs fly. Shall I get the checkbook ready, sir? No.
I'd still prefer not.
I'd prefer not. Yeah, so she's like, we have so many letters. We should really put these in storage, don't you think? But Phoebe's like, no, I'll get to them. If there are innocents to ignore, there's letters to respond to. I'm going to get to them all. She's trying to distract herself. At this point in the story, she has vanquished Cole, who, again, was the source of all evil because she forced him to do it. He was going to give it up, and then she killed the wizard, and she became the queen of the underworld of her own choice, got pregnant with his baby, the baby got stolen, and then destroyed. She lost a child. This happened in the last episode. Just before this, she just lost a child and murdered her husband.
What's she doing immediately after that? Of course, going to the paper so people can suck up to her.
She takes losing a child, which I think is the worst part of it. All the stuff with Cole is pretty standard for this show at this point, but it is, she did just kill her husband, but she lost a child. And she mentions it once in this episode as a gotcha at Paige to say, this is what I've been through. Yeah. And this may be the last
so she
mention
can say, my pain is greater than yours.
Yeah. It's the shittiest. She is the worst in this episode. And I think that may be the last mention of her ever having a child. It's just like, Paige, you didn't think about me.
Yeah, we need to move on to mermaids.
Yeah. So anyway, currently, Phoebe is half-assedly answering letters while watching TV, so the writing is really quality on these responses.
Yeah.
Then the peon tells Phoebe she's so amazing. What's her secret? How does she do all the things she does?
She's like, well, bathing in children's blood. And what? I didn't mean to tell you that.
Phoebe proceeds to sigh her way through the scene.
You don't know what it's like to be this popular, and you never will. I look at the people across the street and they'll never have this. That's sad.
Really Hasselhoffing her way through this.
Oh my goodness.
I'm glad she still has her job at the paper, because as Queen of the Underworld, she was still doing her paper job, so, everything's cool there. Phoebe vaguely alludes to the stuff with Cole and her being Queen of the Underworld without saying it, saying that she was going through a bad period in her life, but she's finally coming out of it. No one's going to take her there again. Yeah. She became the Queen of the Underworld, lost a baby, and then
killed her husband.
Killed her husband. Anyway, she's like, nobody's gonna take me to this dark place again. Especially not me, who was at fault. At this very moment, the Miss Cleo ripoff begins to speak to Phoebe because apparently this hotline commercial is airing live.
You know how they do that.
What? There's no way they would air this like it is, because other people see it. It's not like it's just her.
No, the peon says, who's that?
Yeah, you think everyone who was watching this commercial on national television was like, what? Maybe a local thing, but still, there has to be quite a few people in San Francisco who are like, excuse me?
Who's Phoebe?
Yeah, she starts saying, Phoebe, you gotta help me, because Cole has possessed her. To reach out from beyond the grave.
Beyond the crappy backdrop of where he's stuck.
The red backdrop. Anybody Canyon. Meanwhile, at the Halliwell house, there's some construction going on outside, and Paige is complaining about it. Apparently, this was real construction.
Apparently.
And they were like, we gotta get some footage of this.
We'll incorporate that. Whoa.
It must
have been. And
Brad
Kern thought of the greatest scene to incorporate the construction in with.
Yeah, this is the only episode Brad Kern wrote, produced, and directed, and you can tell what parts. Yeah, I do wonder if maybe in the original script it was just supposed to be the FBI guy in the telephone phone line van. And then they were like, well, we got construction going on, so we'll just incorporate it because, I mean, they could still do the same plot without them.
I feel like it would make it, I don't know, make more sense that it's obvious to Piper something's wrong when she's like, that shouldn't be there. Like, with all that going on anyway, it seems a little weird that she's like, that's not real.
Yeah, I think she just goes like, well, it wasn't there before, so that's the thing that's changed.
But things come in. You know?
That's true. So yeah, Paige is complaining about the construction. Apparently this is supposed to go on for 3 weeks at least. Piper is mildly concerned with complaining about this, but she's busy overseeing Leo putting frames on the wall. She needs to oversee this.
Yeah. Shove the harness right up his ass.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great. So, Paige wonders what's going to happen if a demon throws them out of their window and these construction guys are around. But Leo's like, no, I wouldn't worry about it because there's so much fighting going on amongst themselves in the underworld now that the source is dead. They're going to be busy with that. Mm-hmm. And Piper's like, well, I hope it lasts because
I'd almost forgotten what it's like to have a normal life. Normal life.
Just, you could have a dummy in the corner with a tape that repeats normal life over and over, and that'd fill in for her for the rest of the seasons.
Yeah.
Except when it comes to her baby.
Yeah.
Like, normal life, except unbound child with powers it can't control.
She'll still talk about normal lives with them. She just never considers finding their powers.
We could make them normal. No!
No. I just want to complain about it.
She then orders Leo to put the frame higher, but he can't quite reach it. And Paige is like, well, just hover. But Piper's like,
no, do it the normal way. No magic unless necessary.
Paige rebuts, use it or lose it, lady. So this gives Leo permission to give Brian Krause a giant harness wedgie as he levitates.
Oh, I got it in there.
Perfect. He's like, I'm glad we did this harness shot for this wonderful scene.
Had to crush his crotch too, right?
Yeah, like, harnesses aren't comfortable for anyone, but it's gotta be worse for guys, right? Like, he's like, all for what? So I can put a picture frame up instead of grabbing a ladder? Come on! So that's when Hurricane Phoebe in her terrible clothes comes busting in, and she's like,
my problems.
She explains the situation at the office and asks how she's supposed to move on with her life if her stupid husband she got killed won't leave them alone.
Can't he just be fully dead?
Why can't he move on?
Columns to work on.
This is not new. It gets worse through the episode. Leo thinks that Cole must be in some sort of astral plane because he's half demon. I guess demons go to this astral plane when they're vanquished, and then graboids devour their souls and their powers or something, and then they go to hell, I guess?
Something like that. Some weird stopgap between that.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they have this limbo in between.
It's for if anyone with a soul goes there, that they have to run around a crappy set.
Yeah. I love when Leo explains this. Phoebe just goes, well, whatever. How do we shut him up?
She's the worst.
Well, whatever.
What about me? Phoebe is like, okay, I need to find some way to talk to Cole, figure out what he wants, and then we can move on. We'll end this chapter of my life. But right at that moment, Leo and the rest of the world freezes, and the most theater dad of all appears. The Angel of Destiny. I guess this is a character actor who's been in a lot of stuff, but he is an old man in a robe. But he's got like a gray or a blue robe, some sort of different one than the elder robes.
Yeah, a little better than theirs, I guess.
Yeah. He's the Angel of Destiny. He introduces himself as the Angel of Destiny, but he also says later that there are multiple Angels of Destiny, which we do see throughout the rest of Charmed. So that makes him a little less special. He's like, I'm the Angel of Destiny, number 10.
Because they might not get me back, and they don't.
Yeah, I think they bring in a girl one, and she might be the only other one we see on screen. They have more in the comics, and she marries Phoebe, I think. She's like the Justice of the Peace or whatever in the wedding, the priest.
Did you say you're the Angel of Density?
They keep talking about through this episode how rare it is the Angel of Destiny, like, shows up for them. Like, they don't normally intervene with stuff. And then later they're like, yeah, you can preside over our wedding.
Yeah.
you have the time.
Leo didn't even know what the Angel of Destiny was in this episode.
Did he not?
No, because he's like, what?
I think he was just surprised. I don't think he didn't know.
I don't think he had heard of it.
No, I think he was just surprised because they were just out of nowhere saying the Angel of Destiny showed up. I don't know. I guess it could be read either way, but I think he was supposed to know. He knows everything unless he consults the elders about it.
He knows everything except when he doesn't.
Well, for whatever reason, the girls are scared of the Angel of Destiny. I don't know why, because he just shows up and things are frozen. It's not like he's done anything. And he's like, I pose no threat to you. And Piper says that the last guy they met who could freeze time was a demon. She is a woman who can freeze time, so a little bit of telling on herself there.
Even the wiki isn't really sure what she's talking about, too.
Did it say that?
Yeah, because they're like, maybe she means Tempest, but they didn't even directly meet him, so I don't know.
Did Cole do any of this shit as the source?
No thing.
I guess not. I guess the source couldn't. He went to Tempest for it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they must have seen other things that could stop time. I guess the wiki would know, so I'll defer to the wiki. Yeah, I don't know why she's so freaked out about this, because again, she can freeze time.
Yep, but she is a demon, so...
Stop ganging up on me!
The Angel of Destiny says that he normally doesn't intervene with this kind of stuff, except in extraordinary circumstances, like with Mozart, or Einstein, or Britney Spears. He does like a nasty face. Why did he do that? Like a snooty face about Britney Spears. Was he just saying, what was he interfering with? Was he saying because the Kevin Federline stuff, or what? What was the reference? Angel of Destiny, I need to know more. Actually, don't. But hey, good news. By vanquishing the source of all evil, they've fulfilled their destiny. It's done. You know, the thing they prophesied, they're done with it. It doesn't seem anyone knows what they're talking about, because later on they're talking about, oh yeah, this is the real prophecy about whatever. Like there is no real prophecy or destiny at this point.
Yeah. I love that he said, like, even though we're supposed to have seen this coming, we thought it might not.
Yeah, we thought that you would never accomplish it.
Because Phoebe sucks so much.
It's a testament to their incompetence that the Angels of
Something
Destiny...
that's supposedly set in stone, like, it might still not happen, though.
The whole thing is that they know and shape people's destinies, and it was prophesied to happen, and still they're like, it might not.
Yeah.
They're pretty tough cookies. I don't know if we can get them to give a shit.
Yeah, they really sucks.
Oh no! We suck again!
But anyway, because they've vanquished the source of all evil, they're offering them a reward to stay the charmed ones, or
a cookie.
Or a cookie.
Phoebe says cookie.
Yeah, cookie! And then they turn into cookies, and that's the end. They can stay the charmed ones, or change their destiny and lead normal, magicless lives. He makes a point of saying, like, no one will ever come after you. We'll make sure demons don't come after you. The slate's wiped clean. You'll remember everything, but you're just not going to be witches anymore, and you're not going to have to deal with that. And then your Book of Shadows will go to some descendant or something, and you can go,
good thing we didn't throw this away.
Piper's like, but what would I complain about?
Oh, she proceeds to bitch at him.
Yeah.
She's like,
excuse me, Angel of Destiny, you dropped this bombshell and you don't even give us time.
I'd love if he was like a vengeful Angel of Destiny and just erased her from time.
Yeah, and he's like, alright, if you're gonna be that way.
Yeah. I came here to give you a gift and you whine about it?
Swap you with Prue.
Yeah. Yay. Can you swap it with Phoebe too?
What if they said, like, how about instead of that reward, bring Prue back? And then that's...
Yeah.
They're like, can we do that? Oh, thanks.
Can we trade Piper and Phoebe for Prue?
Yeah. Can they just disappear and there are no charmed ones? Except Paige. I guess she wasn't that bad at this point.
We have Paige and Prue.
Paige is like, no, we're cool with being witches. You're wrong. Forgetting that she has the most selfish sisters in the world. At this point in time, she likes magic, because I know Paige is sometimes like, oh, I want a normal life, but now she's like, I like magic.
Yeah, that's before they started just writing them all the same sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, oh wait, this is supposed to be the one that's a little less annoying.
Yeah, but wait, we don't know how to write them if they aren't complaining.
You know.
Why are you the way that you are?
For some reason, normal life Piper is on the fence about this. I'm not sure why she isn't immediately like, ah!
Yeah.
But that's because this episode's all about Phoebe. Phoebe is like, I want to take the chance because of my stupid dead husband. We gotta erase all this stuff. Give up our powers. I'm fine with this. She never uses them anyway, except for predicting dates or whatever. So.
Like, oh, I do really like going, oh, I can't feel your feelings right now. I need to feel me.
This is pre-empathy power. She gets that later. So the girls go to have a discussion in private about this. Phoebe says being queen of the underworld and losing her hell baby sucked. Not that she's sad about losing a child or choosing to be evil, it's just it was inconvenient for her.
Yeah, really interfere with her writing her column.
Yeah. I love how, like, she just throws that out like it was a major inconvenience. Like, she's not sad about it, except for the fact that it was inconvenient for her.
The thing, like, too, it would really help make her a more likable person if she ever showed any empathy for Cole and his situation, but it's always just... it's so annoying that little turd won't get flushed down the cosmic toilet and stop bugging me.
Not only is she trying to send him to hell in this episode, she has the gall to actually, she's doing him a favor. I owe him that much to send him to hell. But really, it's all for her own selfish reasons that she wants to move on. And
she just doesn't want to think about what she did anymore. And Cole's a reminder that she chose evil. And she's like, I want him to just go away so I don't have to remember what I did.
Yeah, and she's not called into account because of this. Paige does bitch at her a bit about wanting to throw everything away, but this is a very light pushback.
Paige is the only one who mentions too, like, you still like did all that evil magic go to your head. She throws that at her once. Yeah, it's very light for what Phoebe did.
And Phoebe's like, you don't know what I've been through. And then Paige says, I've been through stuff too, right? And then she's like, yeah, but we've been going through it longer, so it matters more.
You're still new.
Piper pulls a bit of this too. She's like, hey, Phoebe has a point here, and we've been doing this longer than you, Paige, so we have more say. She also points out, she's like, I can't have a baby because of what we do. Piper says she can't have a baby. I think she's trying to say, because the baby would be in danger, but I know she had some fertility issues, and it may be because of like all the fights and stuff.
Yeah, unless a dead guy knocks her up.
Oh, you're right. Stupid dead Leah. This is hilarious considering what she does with her kids later. Like, oh yeah, we could have a baby in this situation. Like later, like,
yeah, I'll just storm him to hell when Leo's torturing someone. You need to babysit.
They can almost kill themselves with a dragon. Nothing's gonna make me say that I should bind their powers.
Phoebe is insufferable as usual. In the scene, she's like, vanquishing demons isn't as fun as it used to be. As if she ever did anything but complain and try and do... I guess earlier on, she wanted to help people. I don't know if she ever found it fun.
Yeah, in the first 3 seasons, she was more about it and more about having magic and stuff, but now she's become Phoebe. So.
Yeah, all she does is complain and blow it off for work, whatever. So the Angel of Destiny is like, I can see you got a thing going on here. I'll give you some time.
Yeah, there's a sale at Sears, bye.
Yeah, he's like, remember your destinies are tied to other people's, but we don't care about them, so let me know what your choice is. Like, he points it out, and it's like, yeah, what about the other people their destinies are tied to? Like, does it not matter future people that would be in danger or the people around them?
I can't worry about other people's destinies right now when I have a column due out tomorrow.
Just constant. And I'm like, I just want to take her tiny bangs and rip them out. So, the phone rings, and Leo comes in. It's kind of funny. He's like, hey, did you freeze me? And then Piper nonchalantly is just like, yeah, now it was the Angel of Destiny. And he's like, who?
Shut up!
Huh? He looks very concerned in this scene, and they're leaving him in the dark, like,
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, she just waves him away to check with the elders.
It's like, hey, bitch boy, get going and do something useful.
Yeah, go check with the elders about this angel of destiny or whatever. Yeah.
Check with the elders, go on a spy mission with Daryl and hang pictures. That's what you do. And you get no info.
And your spy mission with Daryl is going to be cut. It's a deleted scene.
I want to see that deleted scene.
It's probably on the DVD somewhere.
Maybe.
Something.
Sounds better than anything else.
We could check if they're on my DVDs. if they play at this point, all the glue from that box set.
Mm.
Anyway, so Daryl was the one that called them. And he starts it off by going like, don't talk, just listen. And then Piper immediately is like,
Daryl, what's wrong? Let me talk to you.
So he's trying to warn them that they're going to be put under surveillance by the FBI. There's this agent named Jackman who's been looking into them because they've been witnesses on a ton of unsolved cases. And this guy contacted him. So he's like, you're going to be put under surveillance. He's telling them not to talk because they could be bugged at this point. And yet the girls, Paige and Phoebe, also come over to the phone and are like, into the phone. I'm like,
what's going on?
So Daryl's like, I'm going to find out what this guy wants. So talk to you later. Meanwhile, Jackman's already there and he's Bruce Campbell.
Yay.
Groovy.
What a waste of Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
I mean, they pretty much waste all of their actors and guest stars, but like, you know, it kind of means more to us because we like Bruce Campbell, and then this is what they use him for.
This is it.
So he's undercover. He's wearing like a construction outfit, but he goes in like he arrives in a phone line van. So I guess maybe the construction's a phone line they're putting in. Maybe, I don't know. He's got a van and he's in it. Luckily, he set everything up right after all of that Angel of Destiny stuff, so he wasn't listening, even though he could have easily been doing that.
Yeah.
Especially because apparently he's been on their case for 6 months, so he really took some time to get in on this.
I mean, I guess he does have a bunch of files on them already, so...
Yeah, but I think he says, like, he came across them. I don't think he compiled all of them.
I guess.
He said, like, he could have exposed them 6 months ago when he came across these files, I think is what he was saying. And that's why he started snooping into them. But anyway, they start playing some rock music as a cover so that he can't overhear them. And the girls again discuss changing their destiny, and Phoebe makes it about Cole.
Phoebe says, I know I said I want a normal life, but I was told I can't use magic, and I really need to go upstairs and use magic.
Yeah, they're like, let's not use any magic because we could be exposed by the FBI, and there's all this stuff that happened with the source. Let's keep it on the down low. And immediately she's like, I gotta use magic.
I want a normal life, but I also want to use magic. I'm going upstairs to use magic.
Yeah, she's going up there to look up a way to get to Cole. And she says if she doesn't take care of this and the FBI gets involved in all this stuff, it could end up like that time Prue died. Like, she's just throwing it out there like, you know, maybe it could be like when our sister horrifically got murdered and all this exposure was going on. It's all about me.
Yeah. And she's going to steal Prue's powers, too. And that's when they find this tape by Phoebe. It says, can I borrow a power?
Can I borrow a power?
Phoebe's come, need some assholes.
Can I borrow a magic? Can you bring me a cup of potion? This witch's life is so tragic. Fill my bag with your well of spells.
Can I get Shannon Doherty fired? You gotta love knowing that, having it confirmed anyway, because it really seemed like that was the case anyway. But the premiere of season 4, when she can't even pretend to give a shit that Prue's dead, she's like, oh, I can't worry about that right now.
It's time for Prue to be dead right now because this is about me.
Yeah, Phoebe doesn't care about that. She just wants to, do her own thing with Cole. Anyway, she says she's going to cast the Find a Lost Love spell, which will astral project her to wherever Cole's soul is. she's like, we both need closure. Cole needs closure.
I'm doing it for Cole.
Yeah. I hate her in this. I hate that she acts like she's doing him some big fucking favor.
Mm-hmm.
After she caused
she's
this. She's
gracing him with her presence.
She caused this. It's not like he chose to be evil. He was giving it up, and then she made him take on the source and killed his ass. And then she's like, you did this. Meanwhile, after me being the queen of the underworld, I get to be in the world and not in hell and redeem myself, even though she doesn't redeem herself.
She doesn't do anything to redeem herself.
The way I said it made it seem like she acts like she needs to be redeemed, but she never does.
She doesn't. That's a big problem with this storyline.
About it, if she thought, I need to make up for my mistakes, maybe, but she never does that.
If
she's like, I need self-care.
Yeah, if this acknowledged what she did and she had some deep character growth because of it, it could have been a great story.
Yeah, they could have done something, but they don't, and they just complain all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've got to help us, Doc. We've tried nothing, and we're all out of ideas.
So anyway, I'm glad Phoebe immediately went to do magic when Daryl said no. Piper and Paige are on distraction duty. Again, they don't have other problems to worry about. Let's focus on Phoebe's thing. So, Piper undoes Paige's top, like to show more cleavage. Yeah. And she goes out in slow-mo with lemonade for the construction guys to distract them. Like, boys, there's enough for everyone.
Naked woman!
There isn't. By the way, that jug is not big enough to give everyone some lemonade.
Yes, but big construction workers, really thirsty out in the heat, and it's not enough for everyone normally anyway, but...
It's like, maybe if they'll take a quarter cup.
Yeah. They made that lemonade awful quick, didn't they? Maybe they just had that already.
And then, Piper looks on with a big smile as a proud pimp.
Yeah. Hard to believe Brad Kern wrote, directed, and produced this episode with scenes like this. Sexy lemonade scene.
So stupid.
So here's what Piper does. She goes to Jackman's van and immediately freezes him. She opens it and then freezes him and then slams the door shut. She could have done this without opening the door and possibly exposing magic. I don't know why it wouldn't have exposed magic.
Yeah, absolutely pointless.
From his point of view, he would have seen her and then blink the door shut again.
She could have frozen from a distance.
From a distance. She absolutely could have, but she doesn't. Again, using magic immediately.
Yeah.
So
be real careful.
No, you don't tell us what to do, Daryl. We're gonna be reckless. And then we're gonna kill you and borrow your soul.
So she looks up at the window and wiggles her nose at Phoebe like in Bewitched.
Yeah.
This is the signal for Phoebe to do her stupid spell to go see Cole. So she astral projects out of there and arrives in some sort of CGI graboid demon limbo of sorts.
Mostly just some CG shots. A lot of it's the crappy backdrop.
Yeah, well, they can't afford that much CGI, but it's the graboids are CGI. A bunch of demons will show up and sprinkle into little pixie dust.
Yeah, they just fall in the sky for 2 seconds, exploding, and then their dust hits the sand or whatever.
Yeah, but it didn't happen to Cole like that because he's holding on to Phoebe's love.
Well, he's got a soul.
Well, he's got a soul, but he's also holding on to Phoebe's love. Is why he explains why he's still there. So, a disheveled Cole is running around with some stubble and his suit's all dirty. He grabs Phoebe and demands to know why she's there, despite the fact he was asking for her help. He wanted her to come. And then he says
that again, right after that. He's like, "What are you doing here?" Yeah, so my message worked.
Yeah, and it's like, what? You wanted her to come there, didn't you? Some hell graboids try to snatch them. And Cole takes Phoebe onto a rock. I guess just like Tremors, they can't go through that rock.
Hey, come over here into the corner, even though this is supposed to be a big wasteland. Let's go into it's obviously a corner with some wrinkles in the sheets of the cloud backdrop.
Pretty good. So he just saved Phoebe's life. He does this multiple times in this episode. To no thanks. Every single time she bitches at him about how he doesn't just die and go to hell.
It's so terrible.
And right after this, too, she hugs him to trick him into thinking she cares. This is devilish.
Delightfully devilish, Phoebe.
Hey, how you doing? Good to be evil.
So Cole explains that this is the wasteland. It's where all vanquished demons show up, and they dissipate into powers. The graboids eat the powers, and then they go to hell or something or other. I don't know. It's kind of ill-defined, but the main thing you need to know is that some power sprinkles show up sometimes.
For whatever these tentacle things to eat. Is like, why?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Does this channel the powers to somewhere else, or the tentacles gaining these powers? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it.
I don't know why it would be where all vanquished demons go, because there's other demons that are in the underworld that get second chances. So is it just they're always temporarily there? Because the ones that come back, like Barbas, like he came back and he had all his powers, so I don't know.
Maybe normally their powers just go into a holding area once the tentacles suck them up, and if they get back out, they get them back.
Yeah, yes. Confusing.
Whatever. It doesn't make sense.
This is the only time we see or hear of this weird limbo place. Phoebe asks why he's there, why he's still around. And he says he's holding on to their love. Yeah. And she goes, again with the pretending this is about her being nice to him, oh, that's not healthy. You should move on. You know, to hell.
Can you flush yourself, please?
I love he points this out. He's like, well, I mean, of course you can move on because you're not going to go to hell, but I'm going to go to hell if I move on. And she's like, oh, Cole, wouldn't it be better if you moved on, though?
There's no,
you can't keep running from these soul-eating graboids forever. Just give in. Go to eternal damnation.
This is the guy she married, and she acts like he hasn't gone to hell. He's still holding on, and she acts like, ugh.
Especially if she's like, oh, she loved him, but the source it possessed him, but he's not the source anymore. So why is she still blaming him for this shit?
She could even say, like, you know, I think we're kind of toxic together and stuff like that, while still saying, like, I still want to try and help you, though. Get out of here.
Even if she had said, even if she had still not wanted to help him, but said, you're toxic, it might not be the right decision.
She needs to admit she's toxic.
She definitely is in the wrong.
Toxic.
Yeah, she's definitely in the wrong, but she doesn't present any good reason why not to help him. Like, they could even present it like she should help him, but she's conflicted about this because of her own issues with him, whatever. But she acts like she's doing him a favor, giving him closure, what she owes to him. Yes. She says she's owes him this.
Queen Phoebe makes an appearance, and he may kiss her hand as he flushes himself.
Like, what is he supposed to do? Be like, thank you, Phoebe, and then go to hell? Like, what is that?
Thank you. Oh, let that graboid suck my ass now.
Yeah. And she's acting like, you know, he's got to move on because she tried everything, which is nothing.
Yeah, she tried nothing, and she's all out of ideas. She
cannot be bothered to be less lazy and get him out of hell.
Yeah, he mentions, like, you know, he's got a spell too.
Well, he says to find the grimoire.
They find the grimoire.
And resurrect him.
Oh, I just can't use dark magic unless it's for selfish things. Yeah. I hope you understand.
I get why she says no to this, because the grimoire is the evil book of shadows.
But she is playing around with that just a little bit ago when she's queen of the underworld.
The last episode.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I get why she says no to that, but she doesn't try anything else, is the thing.
There's got to be some good version of it.
Yeah, she could even be trying to help him, and then he's like, oh, use the grimoire, do all this. He's saying all these bad ideas, and she's realizing, like, he may not, maybe she shouldn't resurrect him, like maybe he's corrupted or something, you know, like he saves her life multiple times, you know, he was possessed by the source of all evil, but you could at least say, like, maybe she doesn't want to save him because she thinks he could go down that path again or something like that. But I don't know.
When she went down that path and it's her choice, she owes him at least a chance to try and redeem himself.
I owe him that much. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
So yeah, one of the graboids grabs Phoebe's ankle, and Cole once again saves her life. And while he's holding her and trying to pull her away from this thing, she starts screaming at home. Her body starts screaming, I guess. And so Piper and Paige bring her back.
Unfortunately.
Bruce Campbell is unfrozen in the melee, and he hears the screaming. So he rings the doorbell and introduces himself, giving up the ruse because that part of the episode's over. He's like, hey, FBI guy, done with the surveillance thing.
I don't even know why I was bothering with that, to be honest.
I don't know.
I came in here with a big file to say, hey, help me with this case.
Yeah, like, there's no reason for him to be doing this other than the beginning of the episode. They needed something to do, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And he got them on recording, though, chanting a spell.
Yeah, he got them chanting the spell to bring Phoebe back. He shows them this giant file that he has on them. And he said if he wanted to expose them, he would have done it 6 months ago. Because, you see, he already knows that they're witches. He wants their help catching a witch hunter. And Piper's like, I've heard enough. And then freezes him.
Like, that was too much for Piper.
Stop a witch hunter! No!
Yeah, even when it could help them.
Yeah.
She's like,
No, I refuse to help people.
Yeah. It's like, what do you want us to do? I want you to help. Help! I've heard enough.
But the freezing doesn't work this time because he has a special anti-freeze amulet.
Which, if he had that, why wasn't he wearing it in the truck?
Yeah, I don't know why, because he has it around his neck anyway, so why did he not have it before? Why wouldn't he?
Like, he had it in the glove compartment, and then she froze him. He's like, oh yeah, I forgot I should be wearing this.
Yeah, what? Oh, hang on a second. So, he's got this file on this woman who he says is a witch hunter and is a serial killer, because she keeps burning people at the stake, she's killing witches. So, if they help him get this serial killer, he'll make those files disappear. So he's got some of this witch hunter stuff, and he gives it to them. He's like, I know if you use this, you can find her in some way, so just think about it.
Piper's like,
I don't like help, but I do like the corruptness of it. It seems awfully suspicious. I'm in.
Phoebe thinks that maybe they should take the Angel of Destiny's offer and just let that witch hunter keep murdering people.
Yay!
Yay!
She's our hero.
This whole episode is we've tried nothing and we're all out of ideas. Why at this moment is she deciding we should give them up when she knows there's a serial killer on the loose?
I know, she's thinking about that next column and like this sappy love advice.
I mean, the whole issue too, it's like, okay, maybe if they're like, oh, this is our reward and we want a normal life, whatever, they should be thinking, people are still gonna die from evil if we don't stop them. That's our whole deal, right? So even if they're not gonna come after us, other people are still in danger. And Paige points this out, but they don't really seem to care.
No. Yeah, Paige is the only one who cares.
Yeah, she says we were given our powers to do good, and then Phoebe sighs annoyingly.
Forget it! I'm not doing it! This episode was badly written!
This is another time where this show is kind of inconsistent about how special the special charmed ones are, because apparently it would be fine if they were just gone at this point, which, yeah, sure, they should be fine without them because they don't want to help anyway.
Yeah.
However, sometimes they act like they're the only charmed ones and they're the special ones, they're magic royalty, you can't do anything without them, and these demons can only be cooled with power 3 spells, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's like, sometimes it's also like, maybe we can set up another power 3. I don't know.
Yeah,
ill-defined.
So is it just until their descendants are old enough, like, just no power 3 spells are gonna work, and whatever can just take over the world, or whatever the hell?
It has to be part of the magical royalty. Or can other people do it? I don't know.
It's at this point that Paige calls Phoebe's ass out. It's like, yeah, all that dark magic got to your brain, huh? Phoebe's like,
you don't know what I've been through. What about Phoebe?
I just don't have time for you to call me out right now, because this is all about me.
Yeah, during this very, very irritating exchange, Piper is like, hey, we need to focus on this witch hunter thing. There's a serial killer on the loose. Maybe let's take care of that. So she's like, she sends Paige upstairs with the witch hunter stuff. She says, scoot! And then she yells for Leo. It gives him permission to orb in, like,
yeah, you can orb.
He says, all right, the Angel of Destiny's legit. I checked with the elders. And then she's like,
good, now go out and find out about that FBI guy.
Do a spy mission with Daryl. Sounds exciting. We'll cut it.
Yeah, a real rewarding part for Leo here. Yeah, they're like, we can't cut the lemonade sexy scene, but we'll cut this.
Yeah. Pivotal that we saw that.
Phoebe makes an annoying noise again. And Piper asks if she's having a crappy day because of Cole, as if that hasn't been what Phoebe has been talking about every minute of the day for eternity. Why? I feel like hell for Cole is just being stuck with Phoebe.
Hell is other Phoebes, Archie.
Oh my goodness.
Meanwhile, Cole is being attacked in hell and wishing for oblivion. He sees a demon that got vanquished and appears, and then he sees the sparkly powers. He steals the powers, I think, unintentionally.
Yeah, because he calls the thing to come eat him, and then he just walks into the powers and they absorb into him.
Yeah, and then he realizes he can steal all these powers for himself, so he's got a plan.
So he accidentally kills the tentacle with the new powers, and he's like, oh,
this could work out for me. I think he even says basically that, like, this could be good. I don't know why I was depending on Phoebe. At the manor, Piper and Paige are scrying for the witch hunter. Phoebe comes in, gets off the phone to say that Daryl found out that Jackman knows about their genealogy and stuff. He knows more than he's saying. So Piper thinks that he's going to keep using them for stuff even after this. And then Phoebe goes, great, we're Charlie's freaking angels. So Paige locates this witch hunter girl. They orb on over to, I don't know, kill her? What's the plan? Like, they know that this is a person, right? The witch hunter? I don't think they have any magical properties. Witch hunters.
I don't know.
In fact, I think they are just normal.
They're licensed to kill if they have magic powers.
Possibly destined to do it, but either way, like, we find out later that, like, they don't have powers. They're kind of resentful of the charmed ones having powers, being arrogant or whatever. Anyway, so when they arrive there, they find the girl with a bunch of bodyguards with guns around her. A guy tries to shoot them, and then Piper bitches at Paige for not sensing anyone else was in the room before orbing in. Is that a thing she could always do? I feel like that would solve a lot of issues, because there were times she would orb into places, and I'm like, does she not think, like, what if someone's there or they expose magic or whatever? I guess it must be something she can do.
You would think.
But it feels like other times she's orbed in and not known what's on the other side or where someone is. So
well, Leo's done that too, right?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Questions. Inconsistent like usual, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So they dodge some more bullets and grab this witch hunter lady just as Cole's ghost appears to haunt Phoebe, lest the episode become about anything other than her.
She goes, blast him!
Blast him! Makes me feel good.
Just didn't make me feel good enough, though.
So they take this witch hunter lady, like they knock her out and then take her back to the manor. And then Bruce Campbell shows up with a gun. He's like immediately like, where is she? Like he's gonna shoot her? And it's like, this seems normal, right?
Yeah.
So the girls are like, I don't know, a serial killer with bodyguards seems weird. As they hover over this woman's unconscious body and put her in unnecessary danger. If they thought that this was weird, why did they continue with this?
Oh, even Margoyle had guards. Is it really that weird if someone as lowly as Margoyle can hire a couple of bozos to hang out with them at magic school?
And they can turn into ironing boards, so they're pretty pathetic. So. Anyway, so they figured out something is up, but they don't know quite what. So they're like, we don't think you're telling us everything. And he goes, maybe I'm not. What are you going to do about it? And they're like, that seems weird. What about a warrant? And he's like, you're arrogant. I hate you. And he starts doing a villain speech. And he's like, anyway, here's the warrant. I guess you got to give her to me. And they're like, I guess. Like, why does he start doing the villain speech before revealing he's a villain? And they're like, okay.
Well, he seemed really mean, but he has a warrant.
They could have saved some unnecessary trauma here to this lady by not giving the unconscious
almost
woman
accidental burning.
Yeah, real bad.
Flames on the side of my face.
Piper is like, he's never gonna give us those files, we're screwed. And then Phoebe's like, but not if we give up our powers. And Paige says no. Phoebe says, well, I'd rather give up our powers than our lives. Come on. Get our lives back. She doesn't mean, like, die. I mean, like, just having a social life. Her social life is what she would rather have. So Piper seems to be swayed by this argument, like,
that sounds just selfish enough to work.
And then Phoebe smooshes her face against her shoulder so she can horn in on her close-ups. Really annoying. I'm like, ugh, get off of the screen! It's decided. Majority rules. So they're like, yeah, we're gonna take this deal and have normal lives. So Phoebe's like, hey, should we talk to Leo about this first? And Piper says, no, it doesn't have anything to do with him.
What?
What in the fucking world are you talking about, Piper? She has no respect for her husband whatsoever.
No, it has nothing to do with him.
He's all, you know what, even if it wasn't, their personal relationship wasn't involved, he is their white lighter.
Yeah.
He is charged with protecting them. I would think it involves him a little bit.
Slightly involved. He's involved professionally and personally. So
I would say he has more involvement than most people.
Yeah.
He has the most involvement out of anyone other than you.
Outside of those three, he's the one most involved.
Doesn't have anything to do with him, you asshole. So, Paige once again points out all of the good parts of being a witch. Like, hey, we save people, we got these cool powers, and I got my sisters because of this. And then Phoebe says, it doesn't seem worth it anymore. Paige saying she wouldn't have had sisters if she wasn't a witch. Like, what's the problem here? Come on.
Yeah.
I do like the implication that if they had no powers, they would immediately drift away and have no relationship anymore. True.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're taking the deal. The Angel of Destiny is like, all right, let's get this on the road. And then Piper stops him. She's like, no, I don't want any zombie turkey. I don't want any of this. I just want a turkey sandwich. No Trixies here. And they're like, yeah, the slate's going to be white clean.
Angel of Density is kind of like slowly pushes away the zombie turkey. Like,
yeah.
Fine, it'll be normal.
Turkey's a little dry. Turkey's a little dry. So he's like, yeah, the slate's going to be wiped clean. It's all cool. And then Phoebe's like, well, is Cole going to keep trying to contact me? And then he says, I have no control over that. He's outside of Destiny's reach. Whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah, I guess. He can't control things in weird limbo realms or something.
He said no one was going to come after them again. And then he's like, oh yeah, that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably.
Except
He'll
for
probably
that.
come after you.
That's the one loophole there. I don't know what he's going to do.
Like, so basically, her whole reasoning for wanting to get rid of powers is gone now, right? Because she was just because of the fucking Cole shit.
But I understand, because he said no one else would come after them and stuff. So he can control, like, he can change other people's minds and stuff, like change their past.
I don't know. He can change destiny.
He said he's not going to change their past because,
I think
Paige is the only one who thinks to bring up, are we going to lose our memories of having magic and stuff?
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it's supposed to work. I guess I kind of interpreted it as they wouldn't have their powers anymore, but nothing was going to come after them. It's not like nothing else happened that happened. I think it's just going forward.
But you'd have to like erase any demons still alive that know about them, because otherwise it'd be like, hey, they don't have their powers. Let's go get them now.
This place isn't to question free will, right? Because I mean, like, are people able to just do what they want, or could you just be like, they'll decide not to do it because we ordained it?
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
They get into this in the comics. They have a lot of stuff with Angel of Destiny and stuff in season 9, and it never makes any sense. They're like, oh, these things occur outside of Destiny or something or whatever. And it's like, well, I mean, if Destiny is this blueprint of things that are supposed to happen, and it doesn't happen, then what is it? It's nothing then. It's not preordained, because whatever the fuck can happen and anyone can do what they want.
Mm-hmm. It's weird because he says, we're changing your future, not your past. But he would have to basically wipe Bruce Campbell's mind of them. Otherwise, why wouldn't he come back to blackmail them again?
Yeah, well, because Destiny or something.
Because Destiny, so he's going to change his memories.
He changes their density.
Their density. Or my density.
Now it's all about Phoebe's problems again. She says if she can tell Cole to fuck off, he'll leave her alone. She owes him more than that. Yeah, this is when she gives some big speech about how she has to, like, give themselves closure, and because she owes him that or whatever the fuck she thinks.
Queen Phoebe comes down.
Yeah. So Queen Phoebe goes to Demon Limbo. She appears and tells Cole that they're giving up their powers so they can move on.
Comes down with a plunger. Oh, it's okay, Cole. Just let go.
I'm doing this
let
for
go. I'm an angel of mercy, I know.
Pillow over his face. Shh.
I want to live. No, you don't.
No.
That's inconvenient for me, so you don't want to live.
She's the person in the survival movie who's like, that person's half dead anyway. Leave him behind. It's for us. The rest of us can live.
Yeah. That's exactly who she is.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
She says that she can't save him, and she tried the best she could by doing nothing. And then she says the line, perhaps I hate the most in this show, love wasn't enough.
Love wasn't enough.
Remember, love is her ultimate power, man. Love wasn't enough. She's an advice columnist for a paper.
Love.
Love wasn't enough. Fuck off, you fucking asshole. She is the worst.
Where was the love?
Where was the love?
There was no love shown towards Cole at all.
No, it's only love for herself, and he loved her, so he would let her do what. And she's like, "Oh,
he loves me, and I love me, so it all works out.
Take advantage.
He can give me all the power."
Yeah, I love, like, they're like, no, she chose to be the queen of all evil to save their baby or whatever. Next episode after the baby dies. Whatever. Was it really because of that? She's like, well, it's good news because we can now both move on. Like, I decided, so go to hell.
I know you've been saying you want to live, but what you really mean is move on.
Yeah, if I say go to hell nicely, it's good. So Cole's shoes are off, basically, because he's got new powers. He can do this on his own. Whatever.
Piss off.
I'm not going to deal with this.
Sure, yeah, I'm ready to move on. Yeah, go away.
Yeah, whatever. So Phoebe appears back at the manor, and I guess that's closure for her. Yeah, whatever that was.
Good. I think he won't bug me again, so yeah, let's get rid of our powers.
That seemed pretty good. She's like, nailed it. So Piper and Paige are like, while you were doing that stuff, we've done some thinking about this Jackman guy, and he might be bad. None of this really seemed to add up with the bodyguards and this witch hunter and all that. I don't know. At this point, Leo and Daryl orb in. They're not touching, and I can't remember, you were pointing this out, like, don't they have to touch someone to orb with them? I can't remember if that's the case with all of them.
Yeah, maybe not.
I don't know. In the comments, let us know. Can they orb without touching someone? I feel like in the new show, they definitely had to touch someone.
Mm.
I feel like Paige kept touching people, but I don't remember if Leo had to or not. He might have.
Yeah.
Maybe they were like, it's gay if they hold hands. Let's not.
They can come in hugging.
Yeah. They come in with Daryl on his shoulders riding piggyback. So, it turns out that Jackman is the real witch hunter. Dun, dun, dun. And he's about to burn that lady at the stake.
Oops.
To no one's surprise, he was a bad guy.
That's when the angel of density says, you should probably get rid of your powers. You're a big menace with them.
Yeah, you really fucked that girl over. Huh? She probably would have been better without you. He could have got shot by her bodyguards and could have ended this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he is supposed to legitimately be an FBI guy, but also...
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but also a witch hunter.
It also becomes an issue that he got shot later.
Right, yeah, but they wave it away in a couple sentences or whatever. So he starts to do an evil villain speech at her while he lights up the logs under the stake. You're like, ha ha ha, witches and my destiny, and I'm supposed to wipe the earth of you demons or whatever. Yeah. Bruce Campbell's like, monologue. My time has come.
This is my boomstick and all that, not jazz.
I feel like they had, Bruce Campbell liked to play lots of different roles. Like, he's not just pigeonholed into one thing, but it is weird he's not doing any one-liners or anything. He's just sort of like, hey, I hate you.
Yeah.
It's very boring.
Yeah, it's a pretty straight-laced role for Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
Gotcha, didn't I, you little sucker?
So anyway, the girls orb in, and then Bruce Campbell acts like he always knew his bad lying wouldn't hold up, and they'd show up to stop him.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? No one's gonna buy this. I knew you were gonna show up sooner or later.
Yeah. He says, I buried a bunch of those medallions around, so you can't use your magic, even though they just orbed in.
Yeah, they just orbed in, so apparently they could use some magic.
White lighter powers not count? I don't know.
I don't know. Like, he's like, you can't use your magic except for that thing, but nothing else. So he grabs Phoebe and holds a gun to her head. He starts ranting about burning them alive. And then Phoebe does her martial arts on his stunt double. His stunt double also does some cool roundhouse kicks, like, whoa! Yeah. Not believably Bruce Campbell at all. No. Piper and Paige's doubles, meanwhile, are trying to kick dirt on the fire. Like,
We'll try. That didn't work. I guess you're gonna die.
Paige she takes off her jacket to try and like put it out afterwards. Like, this kicking dirt thing isn't really working. So Piper's like, this isn't gonna work. So in an unusually heroic moment, Piper rushes into the flame and then grabs the witch. Like, she like lunges in there and then knocks the stake over to free them. Mm-hmm. At this point, Bruce Campbell remembers he has a gun. So he points it at Phoebe, but just as he fires, Cole appears.
This is the word I wanted.
You wanted him to kill her?
Yeah, like, if only you could change density here and just have her get shot. Like, you just want it so bad, which is not a good sign when she's supposed to be one of the heroes you're supposed to like.
You'd be like, witch hunter, yay!
She is so annoying in this episode. It's like, can she just get shot and leave the show?
He shoots her and then, what you said, that she never meant well.
Bruce Campbell can be the third sister.
She sent Cole to hell because she wanted to. Anyway, so Cole appears right as he's firing and then switches Phoebe and Jackman's places. So
puts them on a turntable.
Yeah. How the turns tabled.
Yeah, how the turns have tabled.
And, he switches their places so that he shoots himself dead. Bummer. I know, it's like, oh no, they killed Bruce Campbell and Phoebe's alive.
This is the worst possible outcome.
Yeah, you knew if Bruce Campbell was there, it's like 50-50 chance he's gonna die. I'm pretty sure on Cinemorgue he's got a pretty long list. So Phoebe is ungrateful as usual, baffled as to how Cole saved himself by literally doing anything.
Yeah.
What? He's still alive.
Not, hey, thanks for saving my fucking life.
I'm even a little, like, mixed feelings. Like, she could still be a little happy that he got himself out of that purgatory, hellscape, whatever it was.
Well, she could be a little happy that she's not dead.
Yeah, that too. But like,
at the very least,
I just want her to show
her life.
I wanted to show her to show a little bit of emotions in some way towards Cole, besides him being an annoyance, and just wanting him to die.
No, see, they covered that in the next episode when she becomes a mermaid, and it turns out she can't turn back until she admits she kind of loves him a little more.
That's what was clearly going on here. There's so much love. That's why it turned into I'm an annoying asshole.
Her true power was hate. Cole's like, hey, luckily other demons really suck. Anyway, see you next season. He's like, I'll never give up on you, Phoebe. Yay, they saved that girl, but also, wah, Phoebe. An undetermined time later, presumably within the 3-week span the construction was going on, because it's still happening outside, they return to the manor, and Piper and Phoebe are telling Leo about how that lady that they put in danger testified in court that they were guilty of killing that FBI guy. But then they killed her, so they got away with it. No, unbelievably, somehow they have a court date within this 3-week period. And then this girl testifies that he shot himself from 20 feet away, and they're like, sounds good.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's like, okay, they wouldn't be like, how did he shoot himself from 20 feet away? They would be like, obviously he couldn't, you did it.
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb, it's brilliant.
No!
It's just dumb.
But anyway, Leo is like, well, the FBI should be grateful that you guys stopped one of their own from killing people. And then Piper says,
one would hope.
That witch girl, they say, like, her bodyguards and stuff, do they all know about magic and stuff? Is she, like, rich?
She says she's not a witch, and I couldn't really figure out if she was just trying to save her life or if maybe she didn't know that she was a witch. But I don't know. Maybe she did.
You're a witch.
She knew this guy was trying to kill her and thought she was a witch at least.
Her mother was
Harry
a witch,
Potter was
apparently.
being hunted by Bruce Campbell, and then he had bodyguards with guns.
That would have been the best movie.
And that's how the Harry Potter magic school began.
Yeah, you're a snot-nosed little wiener.
And then, this is insane, Leo's like, hey, don't worry about those files. I orbed them into a volcano.
I wish they had, like, shittily green screened him doing this.
Why did they not show him at a volcano throwing these files into them? He could have said something like, a pun about it or something. You're fired or something. Looks like I got the heat off of them or something. Or he could have just said, volcano. And then
And then he accidentally falls in. Oops!
Luckily, I'm a zombie.
He comes out like half melted. Ah!
I can't heal myself.
Except when I can.
Yeah, whatever. I guess Leo knows about this Angel of Destiny thing now and doesn't care. I don't know at what point he found out about it.
Well, he went and asked the elders.
Oh, right. Yeah, they did ask. Yeah, they told him to ask about that. But like the deal, did he know about the deal though?
Yeah, because they got him. He had to go check on whether the deal was legit.
No,
I think he came back.
No, they asked him to check if the Angel of Destiny was legit. But I guess he did say the deal was legit.
Yeah, he says the deal.
Well, he's unconcerned with this, and it doesn't concern him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when Paige shows up along with the Angel of Destiny. But they've decided to keep their powers for some reason. I don't know what changed. I think it's because Phoebe wants to blast Cole away or something. I don't think there's any...
She's like, I didn't have powers and I didn't like it.
And I was like, well, it wasn't because you were trying to save anyone but yourself, but...
They pretended it's like, we did a great thing saving that girl who we got in danger in the first place.
Yeah, really. Their fault. The Angel of Destiny is like, all right, I'm going to peace out. But one more thing. Piper, you're pregnant with your first hellspawn. See ya.
Like, oh no.
Phoebe and Paige then hug Piper creepily, like,
yeah.
And I'm like,
start clawing into her belly.
It was a really chaotic, frantic scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how the season ends.
And then Leo's like, what? And she goes, shut up, it doesn't concern you.
Yeah, it really feels like he was cut out of that moment, finding out he has a child on the way. But whatever, it doesn't concern him.
Get him out of there.
There's nothing to do with him. Yeah, and that's how the season and the episode ended.
Wow.
Phelan,
canceled.
Wouldn't it be great if it was? Phelan, what are your final thoughts on this episode?
Annoying. Very annoying. We got Bruce Campbell in one of the worst episodes for Phoebe. This might be her at her worst.
I hate this episode.
I don't know. She's pretty annoying in some of those later ones going on and on about the paper, but
yeah,
this was really one of the big turning points for her being super annoying.
Yeah, I think like the stuff with the Source and the Queen of All Evil was worse, but it's pretty fucking bad. Like it's
like the whole Queen of
so
Evil.
Frustrating.
It's such an interesting story when that was happening. It's just the fallout from it was what makes it retroactively annoying.
Yeah, well, there were really terrible things in that episode that are more annoying watching it back knowing what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But this is really the turning point where Phoebe alleviates herself of all guilt. Mm-hmm. And it becomes thanks Obama, like it's always his fault about everything.
Yeah.
And she never did anything wrong. And
Stop
that's really what's
Cole.
Yeah, that's really what's frustrating about it. I hate this episode. 0 out of 10. Phelan, who's your Margoyle, Phoebe?
Yes! Yes, it is!
Double Margoyle!
Phoebe. Good.
It can't be anyone but Phoebe.
No.
She sucks so bad.
There's no way it could be anyone else.
Do you want to elaborate, or is it obvious?
It's probably what we said the entire podcast.
Yeah. All right. Do you have a car man?
It's Bruce Campbell. Because
is it though?
Yeah.
All right. Why is he your car man?
Because I think he, even though it's not that great a role, I think he makes it a little bit more interesting than it would be if it's just some generic guy playing the role. So it makes it a little more standable this bad episode.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's that. I did like seeing Bruce Campbell, but it was a complete waste.
Mm-hmm.
I think my carman would be Paige, because she calls Phoebe out, and she's the one person who seems kind of concerned with doing the right thing.
Mm.
I want to do honorary Margoyle.
Fair.
I want to do honorary Margoyle for Leo, because he's a loser in this episode.
Yeah, he's a little bitch. Every butt boy needs a little one.
Alright, that's it for this episode of Charmed Rewind. If you enjoyed this podcast, we'd appreciate it if you gave us a like, a subscribe, or a review wherever you're enjoying this podcast on. You can find us in audio form wherever podcasts are enjoyed. You can also find us on YouTube at youtube.com/Movie Nights the Series and youtube.com/Phelan. You can support us on Patreon, see episodes early ahead of time, vote in polls on Charmed Rewinds, all that good stuff. You can find me on patreon.com/Movie Nights and Phelan on patreon.com/Phelis. Thanks to Peter Hunter for editing the podcast and for the amazing theme song. You can find him at Pretor Hunter on Twitter, and his YouTube channel is also at Pretor Hunter, and you should check his stuff out because it's really good. What hashtags should we use, Phelan?
Hashtag Angel of Density.
Hashtag Bruce Campbell was wasted.
Hashtag Buttboy.
Yeah, alright, that's good. We'll see you Charmanders next time. Bye!